So in that realm, I really like Basecamp, right? I really like Basecamp. Basecamp is and the primary reason why I like Basecamp is because it is unlimitedly scalable. Okay, so Basecamp in and of itself is $1,000 a year, $100 a month. That's unaffordable to the general local party, right? That probably isn't the best use of a local party's resources. On the other hand, that is affordable to a state party in most cases, and even more so because the Young Eco-Socialists, the youth caucus of the Green Party of the United States, it leases space in its Basecamp. Like I said, it's unlimitedly scalable. They can add 1 million people, and it'll be the same cost per year as if they had 100. So right now, it's $250 a year. You can do smaller rentals for 3 months and 6 months. But at $250 a year, you get project management tools, you get communication tools, there's chat, there's message boards, you get to-do lists that have assignable with people, with dates. You get shared documents, a calendar, a schedule, you get automatic check-ins. The Illinois Green Party runs Basecamp space. And, it's, like I said, it hasn't completely flipped everything around, but we're a lot happier than we were previously, and we're working a lot more effectively. And we actually just last night rolled out a new website on WordPress, and one of the cool things is, like I said, it has calendars and schedules. From our WordPress to our Basecamp, all of our events are synced. Things like that are really nice. But Basecamp gives us a space where we can have general discussions in a campfire chat, where we can have really focused discussions in a message board. We can create different spaces so that your coordinating committee has a space. All of your membership can be in there and have a membership hub. We can have committee spaces. We can have working group spaces. We can have social media team spaces. You can make spaces for whatever you want. And then inside each of those spaces are communication tools and collaboration tools, right? The to-do lists can be very, very effective. But it's all about getting buy-in and getting people to use it. One of the other good things about Basecamp is that it can be used via an app, via browser, or via email. The email system is not ideal. I will say that. I will more than happily admit that the email, it is not a great system to use via email, but in almost every case of state parties looking at it, the need to use email is always up there because there are people who want to stay in a familiar system. So Basecamp is a really good one. There's plenty of other things out there. Like I said, I have other workshops that you can look at and see the slideshows on and things like that, where I'll go into them. But things like FreedCamp, Lumio, for communications, things like Slack and Flock, may actually be better communications tools, but they don't have all this other stuff. And the reality is, both Slack and Flock, most Green parties are going to want to retain information. They're going to want to have a record and an archive of their work. So they're going to have to pay per user per month. And once you hit about 25 users, Basecamp's cheaper, right? So the scalability of Basecamp is the primary reason why I tend to point towards it when it comes to project management stuff. But it's really super important that we think about how we do our work, because in my experience, the work in the Green Party is relatively inefficient, and that leads to burnout. So we need to, be modernizing. We need to be thinking, if we want young, I'll be honest, I'm also active in the Young Eco-Socialists. I think most youth are turned off and unengaged when you put them on an email list, right? So if we want young folks, we got to be talking in working and communicating in ways that are effective for them and that fit their needs and desires. So day to day, that's the internal the internal day-to-day work that we need to do. We've also got, you know, so to stay internal, I guess. So I was going to go somewhere else, but to stay internal,